our Intralogistics lounge and to our next interview, Swisslog and AutoStore, from grid to great. My name is Franziska Zimmermann, and joining me today are Yonca Spinelli, Global Vice President of Market Development and Growth at AutoStore, and she's responsible for HTP, 3PL and as a service in the company. So great to have you here with us, Yonca. And next to Yonca is Marcus Uprichard, Senior Sales Director UK at Swisslog. Welcome, Marcus.
Thank you.
So to start with, Swisslog is one of the world's leading AutoStore integration partners, right? And for those in the audience who aren't familiar, what do we mean when we talk about HTP AutoStore solutions, Marcus?
Okay, I'll answer that. Thank you. So when we talk about AutoStore high throughput, I think what's really important is we make sure we talk about warehouse high throughput, right? We need to consider what's going on in and around the AutoStore to make sure products are flowing properly, the right workflows and processes and so on, okay? If we look at it from a market perspective, you know, only 25% of the warehouses globally are automated, right?
Oh, really?
Only 25%, okay? So 75% is still a manual
lot
environment.
More potential, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And I think going online, you'll see that only 10% of those are actually working with what I would call advanced robotic systems in a high throughput environment.
Yeah.
So I guess what I'm saying is when we talk high throughput, we're probably talking about 1 in 10 warehouses globally, okay? When we talk about throughput specifically, we're talking about how many bin presentations in an AutoStore, I should say. We're talking about how many bin presentations we're achieving in an hour, or how many order lines in an hour. So then when we're looking at high throughput AutoStore, we're looking at designing a robot fleet, a grid, workstation ergonomics. We're looking at designing all of the ancillary systems that go on in and around the AutoStore, so conveyor systems, sortation systems, bagging systems, the software, right? The software that sits over the top of all those systems to make sure everything's orchestrated properly to achieve that high throughput number.
Yeah.
So to answer your question, we're looking at around anything north of, let's say, 10,000 order lines an hour, right? So we're probably well over 100,000 bins in an AutoStore solution. We're probably looking at well over 200 robots. And as I say, the key number is 10,000 bin presentations an hour. That's what we and AutoStore would define as a high throughput AutoStore solution.
Okay, wow. And so if the higher AutoStore throughput numbers are now competing directly with traditional ASRS technologies like shuttles and mini loads and something like that, how does AutoStore differ? So why AutoStore?
So thank you. And where AutoStore differentiates is first of all how we de-risk the environment. So in terms of pre-validation and installation of the system, of the solution, we're able to prove the solution months in advance in comparison to a shuttle system. Most dense solutions, so with the 18-level grid, we're able to match 17.2 meters of a shuttle system. Modularity is super important, so land and expand. So you can start small with what you need today, and you can build more as you need more while still operating the system. Reliability is very important for us. So we're 99.7% availability across the globe. And also, if a shuttle system breaks down, you need to shut down the entire aisle, whereas if a robot is not working, you can simply pull off that robot. And then also lower cost of operating. It's only 2% of CapEx, so low cost, low energy systems are the areas where we differentiate.
Okay, and you mentioned software enabling higher throughput. How exactly does it do that? Marcus, maybe you can answer that question.
There's the big question, right? Again, I'm gonna go right back to my first point of the afternoon, which is about high throughput warehouse. Yeah, not just high throughput AutoStore. And the software is a critical component in making sure that all of the subsystems and workflows and processes are working across the entire warehouse from goods in to put away to pick, pack, dispatch in real time. And a term we use quite a lot would be one version of the truth, right?
Yeah.
Let's look at the architecture. It's probably quite simple to think that it would be an easy architecture, right? You've got the AutoStore, you've got our host warehouse management system, You've got the workstations or the ports, as we call them. Put them together, and surely we've got a solution, right? Yeah. It's high utilization in that environment. It's high flexibility requirement in that environment. So you need intelligent, deep-rooted software to be able to achieve the full flow of goods through the warehouse. So yeah, you've got the warehouse management system, right? Typically good at managing customer orders, managing inventory, maybe some finances, but typically not so good at interacting with complex robotic systems, right? At the other end of the spectrum, you've got the AutoStore control software. Again, great at moving robots around the grid, great at grid logic, routing bins. Forgive me, Yonca, not so great at end-to-end warehouse processes, right? So what you have is what I would term as the critical bit in the middle, right? It's the middleware. It's the translator. It's the execution system that can speak all languages, which essentially is taking high-level tasks from the warehouse management system. It's breaking them down into optimized tasks for the AutoStore and reassembling them into optimized workflows for the rest of the warehouse. Yeah, it's kind of that simple.
Great. Thanks for explaining. Yeah. And where do you see, Yonca, the next wave of innovation and product development coming from in the AutoStore and Sync ecosystem?
Absolutely. So for us, for AutoStore, the game changer for us in high throughput has been really the router, driving traffic control in a complex environment. And today in fashion apparel, we're able to address 40,000 per hour bin presentations per hour. And if you look at Sync, our innovation approach is very similar. So Sync, as the automated intralogistics solution, really brings together automation, data across the warehouse ecosystem. Yeah. And for us, the next wave of innovation, as you might have heard in our spring release, is our Cubeverse platform that brings together AutoStore applications, AI, and our partner integration into one ecosystem. And within that, really game changer AI embedded on our Cubeverse platform through AutoStore intelligence. And so I want to speak in a couple of pieces of the innovation. So Cube Studio at the plan, design, and validate stage really enables us bring design, simulator, and confirm in one environment. Then we look at Cube Control. It's powered by AutoStore intelligence. It brings really our ability to remove roadblocks, remove traffic blocks, and bring in higher throughput, better ROI. And for Cube Analytics, complementing that, it's really not only the data piece, but AI, not only the data piece, but action-oriented insights, and really enables us with prediction, insight, and predictive diagnostics, and bringing all of that together is a data layer. So our Cubeverse platform operates in one data lake. So in a complex environment, you really will not be losing information across the customer lifecycle. So if I bring that back home with Swisslog capabilities, Swisslog is our reliable partner in high throughput environments, both with knowledge and resource, and the capability to bring in the plan and design, the build and construct, and the optimization piece with integration capabilities. If you look at our joint customers that were public today, Swisslog also has adjacent technologies, which is critical and often in a high throughput environment. So Warner is an example of that. If you look at customer satisfaction in multi-site environments, it's really, one example is e-grocery environment with multi-sites with Albert Heijn.
Yeah,
and so
we had them here as well,
exactly,
yeah.
Was delighted to watch them. And so bringing all that together, I think Cubeverse platform bringing AI and our AutoStore applications and our partner ecosystem integration together with Swisslog in one platform, the ability to remove traffic blockers with Cube Control, really driving optimization and higher throughput. And with Cube Analytics driving predictive analytics brings all of that together with Swisslog capabilities for our high throughput customers, really de-risking the environment.
Thanks, Yonca. And maybe to sum it up, one last question for the both of you. In one sentence, what makes this partnership between Swisslog and AutoStore a great one? Maybe Marcus can start.
I'm happy to start. Tough one to squeeze into one sentence. You've touched on it already. Credibility, case studies. We've got many examples in the marketplace now across the world, globally, of high throughput auto stores working the way they should do. And I think that's come about through honesty and originality. And forgive me for not fitting this into one sentence, but I was quite taken by. I think it was Jan and Mats were on the live lounge earlier, and they were talking about this relationship that was forged 16 years ago, right? 16 years ago now. The time's gone pretty quick, and that was about trust. I think that was the word Jan used. Trust and a leap of faith was the term he used. It's a leap of faith of two partners coming together, creating something, being the originators of that. And here we are 16 years later, still being honest and still working really well and producing credible case studies.
Yeah, so good to hear, Yonca. Maybe you can try to make it in one sentence. Sorry, it's difficult, I know.
It's difficult with our partnership with so many capabilities. I would say our joint innovation. And so from an AutoStore perspective, really AI is going to be a game changer. And in terms of, we look at it as end-to-end processes enabling intelligent fulfillment, and with our capabilities around the QBurst platform and AI embedded to that through our AutoStore intelligence, bringing to that Swisslog's capabilities and the ability to integrate all of this, and together with Sync. And really, as a team, our ability for trust, as Marcus called out, trust, and our ability to operate as one account team with our joint customers, really de-risking complex environments for our very strategic high-throughput customers.
Okay, thank you. I think there's nothing more to add after that. So all the best for your great partnership. Thanks for being with us. It was a pleasure talking to you. And if you are looking for ways to handle rising volumes and service expectations without adding complexity, visit swisslog.com/AutoStore HTTP.